Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for His Dark Materials, Season 2, Episode 3, Theft. Before I get into it, let me take care of some business first, then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell, yeah, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that I have set up there. I change it out every week. I just changed it out today. And also have links to my social media. So Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tier sip on the Patreon. Waiting until I hit 1,000 subs before I do that. And I also have links to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. So running a little bit beforehand here, trying to get images posted and all that kind of stuff. So a little out of breath. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right, you've been warned. So, this episode, again, we moved the story along a little bit more. Lyra still is being pig-headed and stupid, and I guess that is the how the character is. I've been told, from the book that that's pretty much how she is. So I just kind of have to get used to that she's going to make the most stupid decision possible, and that's what she's going to go with. So I'm okay with that now at this point. But the weird thing is, I want to know who the guy was at the very beginning who had the rings on or whatever, the ring that was summoning Lee Scoresby and had the wind shift and everything, if he's a witch or what's going on. And yeah, we don't know. Or I should say, I don't know. Those of you who read the book probably know who it is. I don't know who it is. But yeah, so Lee ends up going to this small town where he's still looking for Stanislaw at that point. And Stanislaw grooming, of course, Will's father, and finds out that he is actually still alive. And there's a guy up at the observatory who might know a little bit more about him. So he goes up to the observatory to go take a look. In the meantime, Lyra is going back to Oxford to go and meet with Mary to go and hook into her machine. And instead of helping Will first, which is what Pan tells her, is, hey, why don't we help Will first on his quest? And Lyra's like, no, I need to talk to the dust first, is what I need to do. Yeah. And Mary, in the meantime, is actually trying to hook up her I Ching to the, to the machine, the cave. And that's not working too well either, but, or at least it's not working when she's there. It's basically working when she steps away from the machine, which we've all had that problem at some point with technology. Lyra, of course, ends up running from the law, or actually running from one of Carlos's minions in the university there. And she ends up meeting Carlos. Again, she thinks he's somebody else, Charles. Jumps into his car, and of course, she leaves her bag there, and her lithiometer gets stolen by Carlos. There you go. Yeah. Penn says, I couldn't get the darn show to play, only about 2/3 of the way through, but spoil away. Yeah, there's really not too much to spoil here, Penn, so it's not too bad. Will, of course, ends up going to look for Lyra, finds out the lithiometer is gone, is pissed, but before they can go and look for Charles, they have to lay low because the cops are everywhere looking for both of them now at this point in Oxford. And so, of course, what do? They go and watch Paddington, the really bad British movie that no one really wanted to watch. I was surprised that theater was as packed as it was for Paddington, but hey, what do I know? And in the meantime, Lee ends up talking to Dr. Haley, finds out that Stanislaw is still alive and probably up one of the rivers there. And so they're going to go and take a look at the rivers. And also that Stanislaw is a heretic, and anyone that comes looking for him is a heretic as well. So Dr. Haley starts shooting at Lee, and Lee, of course, kills Dr. Haley by accident. But the magisterium doesn't care. They arrest Lee, and this is where he meets Mrs. Coulter for the first time. And he talks to her about, being abused by his dad and knows that she was abused as well. And no matter what she does, she's not going to get the whereabouts of Lyra out of him. And he goes, you know what? He goes, I know you love her, but it's not enough. You're basically going to harm her if you get your hands on her at some point. And so Lee says, that's the reason why I'm not giving her up. Because my life, as he keeps saying, is 1/10 as important as hers, is worth 1/10 of hers. Yes. So, what does Mrs. Coulter do? She gets a telegram from Carlos saying that he knows where Lyra is, and so she frees Lee and tells him, um, if you find my daughter, keep her safe. Is basically what she says, and lets him go. And of course, Lee's not going after his aeroplane at this point, or his dirigible, whatever you want to call it. And instead, he's going to hijack a boat and go up the river. So, yeah. So Will and of course Lyra end up going after the alethiometer. They confront Carlos, and Carlos has it, of course, and says, "You know what? I was going to give you the alethiometer back, but you need to do something for me first. You need to get a knife for me. It's in Sitagaze, which is that in between place that they've been hiding out in. Will and Lyra are hiding out, and it's in the tower, the Torre del Angeli is what it's called. And someone is in the tower. So Will had been told that the tower was actually owned by the guild and protected by the guild, and the guild didn't come out of that tower because of the specters. And he had seen somebody, of course, walking back and forth in front of the windows, and supposedly there's no way into that tower. But Carlos says that there is a doorway someplace in between this crossroads in order to get into that tower. And within there is a knife that he needs. And so that's what he's tasked Will and Lyra with before she can get her alethiometer back. And that's where we leave off on the episode. So, oh, and I almost forgot. There's one important thing too, is that Seraphina's Damon comes in. Demon, Demon comes to Yorick, the Bear King, and basically says, "Hey, um, Lyra's in another world. Her father's a dick. He's the one that's responsible for all this. He's the one that cut the hole open in the sky and is causing your people to die out and starve. And by the way, Lyra is really important, and there's a prophecy that's involved, but she can't know about it because if she knows about the prophecy, she won't be able to fulfill the prophecy, and that'll suck for all of us," is what Seraphina's demon tells Yorick. And Yorick's like, "Well, you guys are fucking assholes, but I'm still going to protect Lyra anyway," is what Yorick says. And yeah, he's now on a mission as well to go and find Lyra and protect her. So everyone's out to protect Lyra except for Lyra. Lyra's making her own bad decisions, and yeah, who knows? Oh, and Mary, for some reason, there was a snake that appeared on the screen for the cave when she was looking at the I Ching, and was going through the motions of the I Ching there. So we don't know what the snake was all about, although most likely it's because of Carlos, because she keeps asking if Lyra was safe. So there we go. I haven't seen any trailers for next week, so I don't know what's going on. Actually, I didn't watch the trailer for next week. I know it's up, but I was hustling in order to get on here only 15 minutes late instead of, like half hour late or something like that. Because I need to take pictures, I need to do Photoshop magic, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's what happens. So I don't know what happens next week. Things look like they're moving forward a little bit more. We're not getting James McAvoy back as Lord Asriel in any time this season, from what I understand, which is a shame because he's actually one of the things that drew me into this thing in the first place was because he was in this. But yeah, he's not going to be back. And I don't think he's gonna be back at all, to tell you the truth. They're probably gonna have to recast him if this goes well. I already know it's going to third season. It's already been renewed for a third season. So there you have it. Um yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of plates in the air, so to speak. They just need to have one of them kind of burst through and start moving a little bit quicker on this, I think. And I think that's kind of what hurt the first season was I know they were doing a lot of setup, but my god, it was at a glacial pace and it was just so I don't know, the buildup of it wasn't great. It was yeah, it was just kind of boring, really. This season's a bit better paced. I see things moving along a lot more quickly now. Um, but yeah, they still kind of need to get into the meat of the story. I know it's not a movie, but um, damn, you got to move a little quicker. I agree with you, Penn. McAvoy was pretty much the tease of this whole series, and Lin Manuel, whatever his name is, who plays Lee Scoresby. I still don't like him. I mean, it's the whole fucking inflection of his voice, the way he's doing the cadence of how he speaks, where he kind of breaks things up. It's worse than Shatner when Shatner was in the early days of Shatner, where Shatner used to speak in really weird phrases and tones and pauses that were pregnant. Yes. It's fucking infuriating listening to him speak. It really, really is. Um, and he's the worst thing about it, quite honestly. Yeah. I mean, I like the character. I know where they're going. You know, I get what this character is, but his stylistic choice of acting is aggravating the fuck out of me right now. It's painful to watch. It really is. Oh, and you know, it was kind of funny when Mrs. Coulter slaps him when he's talking. I'm like, and that's for your bad acting. That's what I kind of imagined. It was, you know, she might have hauled off and really hit him at one point just because of the fucking cadence that he was doing. And your father was you actually have the same kind of experiences that I had because I mean, literally, it's this all start, stop, rise, fall, and it makes no fucking sense the way he does it. And it just bothers me. It really does. And I'm just glad I have subtitles because yeah, I can just read it ahead of time and I can just put him on mute. Ah, there. But yeah, I'd like to think that she actually did haul off and smack him and connected once just to correct his acting, but it's not going to help. So what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, oh, it's the direct to HBO Max Melissa McCarthy movie called Super Intelligence. And you're going to say, why are you doing a Melissa McCarthy movie? Because it falls into the sci-fi realm and it's new and I'm trying to save you all. Um, Wednesday will be another episode of Who in the Hell is Grand Admiral Thrawn? That's right. Since he was name dropped in The Mandalorian episode 5 there, I'd figured I'd do Grand Admiral Thrawn. And so that's going to be just a drop of a video. I'm not doing anything live on that one. Um, it's going to be pre-recorded. So, yeah. You're going to hold off watching that one, Super Intelligence. I don't blame you. Thursday, I'm going to be off. Friday is going to be a new episode of The Mandalorian. Saturday is Saturday morning blast off. Where I take the genre news of the week, any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. And then, of course, Sunday I'll be off, and we roll back around to Monday with his Dark Materials. Yeah, yeah, I'm actually kind of digging the who in the hell is. I mean, even though it's more work for me, quite honestly, you know, production value wise and stuff like that. Yes, I am going to throw a little more production value into this next one, hopefully. And yeah, it's a lot more fun, I think. Yes, I have to research it a little bit more so I make sure my facts match up with the actual facts on things. But I do like talking about some of these characters. I mean, Ahsoka Tano, like I did, the last one there, has such a huge history, and Grand Admiral Thrawn is no slouch himself. He's got a grand history as well, no pun intended there. Um, and he's got two different histories now because, and I'll get into it in the video, but yeah, yeah. Penn says, I'm not hating his Dark Materials. We've watched way worse. It's got some, yeah, I'm not, it's not like last season. Last season was just infuriating because it was so slow. This season, it's just whenever Lin Manuel, whatever his name's on, because he's just fucking annoying, just as acting wise. Yes, I know he's the guy from Hamilton who created Hamilton and all that stuff. Yes, I know that. I know he's got more talent and all this stuff, but good God, he needs to change the cadence of whatever he's doing with this series. I'm actually kind of surprised any of the directors that have been on this series, the showrunners of this, haven't told him, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You know? But no, they're letting him roll with it, unfortunately. So, yeah, so I'd give this one, this episode, if I had to give it a number, I would say I'll give it a 7 out of 10. How about that? I was going to say 6.5, but I'll round it up to a 7 out of 10, which is high praise coming from me. Yeah. So, with that said, I want to thank everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, while you're down there, if you can, hit that like button and the share button too. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit that bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there. Also, all the links to my social media are there. All the links to my pages, my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and the Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. It's all there. I was thinking 7, but I'm surprised you were so generous. Is what Ben said. Yeah, I was too. Even with his over cadence, I guess you could say. But anyway, with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow for Is It Worth My Time? Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may lose an alethiometer in the back of a Tesla, and you need to make a deal with Carlos in order to get it back, and it's not a good deal. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, and take care. Thanks, everyone. Good night.